One of the more interesting aspects of 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 13 through chapter 5, verse 11, this is the text where Paul talks about Christ's return and counsels people to stay awake, to stay alert for this. One of the more interesting aspects of this is the way in which Paul uses language that his readers would have already recognized as relating to their own life in the Roman Empire. That is to say, Paul says things, uses terminology that already means something in the social, political world in which his people live. For example, he talks about Jesus' parousia. This is a Greek term meaning Christ's return. This is a language that's often used to talk about the return of a Roman dignitary or a Roman general or a politician after some particular event. Paul talks about the meeting we'll have with Christ when Christ returns. That word for meeting also is often used to talk about the arrival of a conquering hero or a foreign dignitary. Paul talks about Jesus as Kyrios, as Lord. This is a term that other people in the Roman world would have recognized as referring to the Caesar, the Roman emperor at the time. So Paul's using language that already has currency in his world. He's redefining it now. He's saying, you want to know who the true Lord is? It's Jesus Christ. You want to know what the true parousia, or the true meeting, the true arrival of this conquering hero, that's what Jesus' return will look like. So Paul is casting not just a different religious vision out there, but also in many ways a different political vision to his audience, helping them understand that the Roman Empire is not the be-all and end-all of power and security in this world. Christ is. 1 Thessalonians 5, he talks about all of this will happen when people are out crying about peace and security, or promising peace and security. Well, peace and security was an expression that the Roman government used quite a bit to talk about what it had brought to the world. Rome brings peace and security to the world. Well, Paul's saying that that's a false promise. It's subtle, but in 1 Thessalonians 5, he's saying that's a false promise. And the return of Christ comes in deliberate juxtaposition to that. It's a different kind of peace, a different kind of security. So there's something slightly subversive about this, or at least slightly alternative about the kind of life in Christ that Paul envisions.